If I were not a physicist, I'd probably be a musician. I cannot tell if any creative work would have come from playing music, but I do know I find the most joy in playing my violin. Albert Einstein. Music affects us all in different ways, whether we're playing it or simply just listening to it. It affects our everyday lives. But do we ever stop and think about the instruments that produce this beautiful music? Oftentimes we only think of the artist. But today I'd like to talk to you about one of the most common instruments we hear in music today, found in rock and roll, country, jazz, pop, the acoustic guitar. I've been playing guitar for 14 years now, and I've never seen another instrument as impactful and as versatile as the acoustic guitar. So today, I'd like to inform you on the basic structure of the guitar, how sound is generated, and different ways to generate that sound. And I hope that after today, you can come to appreciate the instrument we've taken for granted. So let's get started. Bear with me, we're going to move kind of quick. This guitar right here, this shape is known as the dreadnought shape. The dreadnought guitar is the most common guitar found today. It was created in 1933 by C.F. Martin, and the first one sold for $200. Keep in mind this was during the Great Depression, so that's actually today worth $3,500. This one you see in front of you, $500, probably sounds about the same. Now, the dreadnought shape is known for its large bottom, so when played to its full capacity, it has a really loud sound. Moving up from the bottom of the guitar, we have these pegs laid within the bridge. The bridge is the elevated piece of wood on the top of the guitar. These work together with this white part right here, which I think is the most underrated part on the guitar, known as the saddle. This part is removable and can be made taller or shorter to adjust the string height off the top of the guitar. So a shorter saddle means the strings are closer to the guitar and easier to press down. Moving up from there, we have the sound hole and the pick guard. This pick guard is placed here because when musicians are playing and really into the music, you don't really think about being nice to the guitar. So we want to protect the top because it's very delicate. And we will come back to the sound hole later. Moving up from there, we have the neck of the guitar. And all these little silver bars are called the fretboard. You can place your finger in different frets, and that produces different sounds. For example, ooh. Okay. Moving up the fretboard, one sec. We have these dots on here. That's just to indicate where the guitarist is playing and give them a reference when they're playing songs. Don't really do anything functionally. Moving up, we have the nut of the guitar. This spaces the strings evenly as they're fed up to the head, the top part. Now as the strings come up, they wrap around their individual tuning strings, and you can have your open tuning. Standard tuning on the guitar is E, A, D, G, B, and E. An easy way to remember that, at least that my guitar teacher used to tell me, is eat a darn good breakfast every day. Brett Nolan. Okay, so we have the basic parts of the guitar, but how is sound really generated? So we can place our fingers on a fret and pick the note. Is sound going in the hole and coming back out at us? Not necessarily. Actually, the majority of the sound comes from the body of the guitar vibrating itself. So imagine this. You're outside on a cold day, and you feel a gust of wind come across your skin, and you start to shiver. And as it gets colder and colder, you start to shiver more to stay warm. Well, think of the guitar in the same way. The strings can be like the wind, and the guitar body is like your body. So when you pick a string, the wood starts to resonate along with it. And when you play it harder and louder, it'll resonate more and more. So there's a term in guitars, in the guitar world, called tone woods, and that refers to the wood on top of the guitar that resonates the most with the strings. This one you see here is spruce wood, which is the most common wood found in guitars today, because when it resonates, all the strings sound clear together. Okay, so now we know that sound isn't necessarily coming out of the hole, but rather the whole body. But what are some ways that we can produce that sound? So if you guys have ever seen guitar played before, you guys know that strumming is probably the easiest way to produce that sound. So it sounds really full, and you're playing a lot of strings, and you can maximize the volume that you're playing at. The next way is picking, where you can play individual notes and just hear them and create a melody line. Beatles. And the next way, that's my favorite way, is finger picking. This allows you to play individual notes while blending them all together. This allows for the most functional use because you can get a lot out of hearing the individual notes and hearing the sound as well. Okay, do you guys all feel like experts? That was a lot of information really fast. Let's summarize what we've gone through. We talked about the basic body parts of the guitar. We talked about how sound is not necessarily just coming out of the hole, but rather the whole body itself, and how what wood you have on top affects the way that it sounds. We also looked at 3 different basic ways to produce sound: strumming, picking, and finger picking. So I hope that next time you go out and see a concert, or even just listening to music in your car and you hear an acoustic guitar, you can help appreciate the complexity and the beauty of this fine instrument. Thank you.